Let's start with the introductions. I'm Alan. I'm here today at your new room, and tell us about yourself and about the room.
My name is Franc Kuzma. I'm making analog products, turntables and tonems for over 40 years. I managed to fulfill my dream having a really nice listening room which fulfills the all criteria which are required to very good reproduction for listening music. Hopefully not to listen it in recording studio, but more like listening experience in the concert hall.
So this system is not part of your, or this room is not part of your listening process in the office. This is more for fun. Is that correct?
Well, yes and no. But if I want to develop really the best products in LP reproduction, or actually we are discovering, we don't even know what's on the records, so we have a really good system to know what's coming out from the records. Therefore, I have a very good system, and I do find it out that acoustics, as everybody knows, affects their listening experience. What is my current experience? That I'm still learning how to listen the music in this room, because I'm discovering the new way how the production of music from the records comes towards me.
Now, this room was made in association with an acoustics designer. Would you like to talk about that?
Of course, when I decided to spend money for a new listening room, where do you go? Which way to go? There are a lot of different ideas, different designers. Even I know a little bit about acoustics. And then I was asking around. And then with all this information given to me by various people in the audio industry or listeners, I decided to choose SMT company from Sweden. And there were two goals. One was that their emphasis was quite strongly on the sound that is like in the concert halls, not so dead sound, like even in studio monitoring, but more like a listening experience in the concert hall. And that's what I liked, and then I decided to work with them. And this is then the end result.
Describe the process. This room is actually quite a bit larger than it seems, because there's a half a meter of material between half a meter of acoustic material. Is that correct?
Correct.
Right. So, what do you want to talk about the system and the way that the way that has worked in terms of what parts of the room have been used and how they've been used in terms of the different types of diffusion and diffraction and absorption that you have here?
Well, as we all know who are a bit into the acoustics, we have two main problems. One is the controlling the standing waves, which affects the reproduction of the bass, and the other part is the reflection or diffusion or absorption of middle and high frequencies. So to control the bass sector, or the standing waves in the room, they were added bass traps tuned to the dimensions of the room, plus adding the absorption material on walls. So there is a, let me say, front wall, and the back wall is added as a false wall for about half a meter, and fill it with wool, and the same applies to the ceiling. And from the sides we have the diffusers, which you might see on the video with these brown wooden ones, but there to compensate that is not so much just the sound is livelier. There's a lot of reflectors which are in white color, which diffuse the middle and high frequencies in different directions. Therefore, you get this long delay, because the sound which comes to our ears very quickly, it goes together as a direct sound and it masks it. But if it's a bigger delay, then it's like a nice echo and gives a nice full sound. The bass traps are designed to control the basic standing waves, the basic resonances of the room, which are in the region given to the size of the room in the 30, 50 and 60 hertz. So all around the floor frame of the room are the bass traps. In principle, they're tuned wooden boxes with an openings, with a little bit of damping, and the same goes with the ceiling around the frame. So altogether it's something like 24 bass traps, which is a lot. But the end result is, could be quite shocking sometimes when you hear for the first time the sound, because it's no bass, only when it comes, and the bass is always different. It's quite an experience. You need to learn to this, because we're just not used to that.
Just a brief interruption, esteemed viewers. As you may know, I'm Tom Martin, Chief Content Officer of The Absolute Sound. We have a new product. It's on the Substack platform, and we're going to do some interesting things with Substack. First of which is reader questions and answers. Each Monday, readers will submit questions. We'll pick the most interesting ones and we'll answer the questions on Friday. We'll also have early access to articles and special blogs that don't appear anywhere else. We hope you'll join us. It's only a cost of a cup of coffee per month. Just check on the screen or in the show notes below. Thanks. And now back to the show.
How close do you think someone in a domestic, I mean, this is a domestic setting, albeit a very designed domestic setting. How close can someone get to this in a regular domestic approach?
Well, in this room, we put in for about 2 trucks of stuff, which is a lot. 27 pallets, I believe. But even this company, they have various levels. And for example, in our listening room in factory, we are doing basic level 1, which is just controlling the standing waves and that you don't have parallel walls. So this will be level 1, like that's how they call it, which you just control the basic 3 modes of the standing waves, which is just the basic 3 dimensions, the length, width, and the height, because these are the most prominent. So if you control that, you get more even bass in the room. And if you get rid of the reflections because they're parallel, because the sound reflects like a light, you need to control that it doesn't come directly from the speaker to you and from the sidewall. So if you deflect that, it is longer path, that you will get quite well going. And in case if it's needed some more, you maybe add some more of a damping material, like a carpet, or maybe some curtains, and then you can actually get very good results.
Let's talk through the system that you're using here. Obviously, it has Kuzma front end, but talk us through the rest.
So the turntable, it's our top turntable, Kuzma Air with the air bearing, and our latest Sapphire Tonam with our top cartridge, which has diamond cantilever called Car 60. Then we have our own stand made from maple wood, which was done some time ago. And then the phono stage is Zanden, 1200 signature, I believe. The signal is then going into the Zanden 3000 preamp, and then further the signal from preamp goes into the current latest monoblocks A, into the legacy speakers called the Whisper, plus has added 2 active subwoofers. The whole cabling is now from transparent cables, and also the old cables for the power supply is also made from the transparent cables. And I think that the end result, you will tell me.
Yes, I think the end result is excellent. I mean, it's dynamic. It can go loud. It can go soft. It can do all the things that you want it to do. So obviously that's perfect. It's a very open, good. Just it takes a. It's a great system in a great room. So that's an easy one to do. But yeah. So I suppose finally, given this room, there's a lot of development still going on in Kuzma.
It is. I mean, I'm learning, let me say, I've used the phrase, how to listen in this room, because it's for the first time I can hear certain things on the records I didn't know they exist. Not just information, but how is the instrument presented to you, how it starts and stops the sound from an instrument, how it fades, the little nuances in microdynamics, the depth, the 3D, the echoing, everything. I'm still learning what's on the records. And I'm pleased that it seems it's a never-ending story.
Brilliant. Frank, thank you so much.
You're welcome, and I hope you enjoyed the stay in our listening room and in the factory and in Slovenia.